Welcome to France 24's Access Asia. I'm Molly Hall. Coming up in today's show, we'll meet the Bajau community, whose floating village in Malaysia has no name. And breaking beauty stereotypes in Tokyo with the biracial Miss World Japan. Plus, the ancient practice of snake charming is under pressure in India. But first, imagine living with no phones and no electricity. For some, it's a dream vacation. Others, a nightmare. But it's the everyday existence for the Bajau. That's because they live their whole lives in, or rather above, the ocean. The community of some 300 people are in complete harmony with the sea. Our Andrew Hillier gives us a glimpse.
Off the coast of the Malaysian island of Borneo lies a village you won't find on any map. That's because officially, it doesn't exist. Here, a community lives entirely cut off from the world. 35 houses rise on stilts above a crystal blue sea. About 300 people live here, all of whom come from a tribe of fishermen known as the Bajau. The village has no name, and its people, no nationality. For as long as Omar can remember, his family has always lived here.
We couldn't live on the ground. We're too used to the sea. It's impossible. We get land sick, so to speak. Our ancestors have always lived on the sea. The land isn't for us.
Each cabin is built from little more than a few planks of wood and a thatched roof, enough to house an entire family. There's no electricity, no telephones, and the villagers rely on rainwater to drink. Omar is father to 4 girls. During the day, the family home is filled with visitors.
During the night, me and my wife lie down here. Our children sleep there. We store our clothes and belongings in these cardboard boxes. That's the toilet.
With no appointments to keep, there's no need for any calendars.
Here, we don't know how old we are. We're not used to retaining that kind of information. We focus on getting food, sleeping, and even having children. But we don't have names for months or days, nothing like that.
Fishing is a part of daily life. Those with the biggest boats cast their nets in deeper parts of the water. Others, like Omar's brother-in-law, take their families to scour the coast for seafood. Right from early childhood, they're taught to establish a relationship with the sea. The Bajau can stay underwater for long periods of time without having to come up to take a breath.
What's this called?
It's a tipai.
How do they know?
It's one of the first things we teach them, how to recognize shells and seafood. It's important, so we teach them that this is a tipai, a kind of oyster.
Knowledge is passed down from generation to generation orally. No one knows how to read or write. There are no bosses, because in this village, the concept of hierarchy doesn't exist. Men and women alike take part in carrying out daily chores.
The only things that we know how to do are things like fishing and cutting wood. It's our own school. Our children don't go to school on land because they don't know how to write. The only language we understand is the language of the sea.
A people like no other, whose lives have come to depend entirely on the ocean that surrounds them.
Next, she has a certificate in elephant training, teaches English to children, and enjoys kickboxing. Now, Priyanka Yoshikawa can add being crowned Miss World Japan to that list. She's the latest young woman breaking beauty stereotypes in Japan.
Meet Priyanka Yoshikawa. At 22, she's hardly a typical Japanese young lady.
My
name is Priyanka Yoshikawa. I'm very happy and honored to be Miss World Japan 2016. Oh, I've forgotten how to speak Bengali. Thank you.
Priyanka is only half Japanese. She was born to an Indian father and grew up in India and the United States. She's the second biracial person to win a beauty pageant in Japan, a country where only 3% of babies born every year are mixed race. Last year, Ariana Miyamoto, whose father is African American, was crowned Miss Universe Japan, but she was criticized on social networks for not being Japanese enough. Priyanka now says she wants to use her win to change perceptions.
I've been called half my whole life in Japan, but I think that for me, I do like to be called half because I am half. That's how it works in here. So, but I never really thought that half was a negative thing for me. And I love to be, it's me. So I'm grateful that I am.
Priyanka's life isn't just about beauty and fashion. The new Miss is an avid kickboxer, teaches English to children and volunteers as a translator. She even has a license in elephant training.
So I can ride the elephant with a passenger on the back. I can bathe them. I make them walk. So when you go to Thailand, or you know how they have those programs of riding the elephants, and a guy or somebody's sitting right there, and that's me. I can do that.
With her eyes set on the Miss World pageant in Washington, D.C. in November, Priyanka is already thinking of life after the competition. She wants to set up a charitable home for children in her father's hometown, the city of Kolkata in India.
Next, snake charmers are one of India's biggest tourist attractions. To some, they have a very special place in the country where serpents are symbolically important. But Luke Schrago tells us others believe the practice is cruel.
The marks on its back are unmistakable. And from the front, its emblematic hood puffs out to the side to scare predators. This is the Indian cobra, one of Asia's most dangerous venomous snakes. It's deaf but follows the movements its master makes with his flute. Snake charming's a major tourist attraction, and for just a handful of coins they can even pose with the reptiles for a picture.
It was fine, I thought it would be a bit scarier than that, but it seemed okay actually. Pretty docile the python was.
Mullah Rinat comes from a long line of snake charmers, following in the footsteps of his father and grandfather before him. They come from the Kalbelia tribe in Rajasthan, several hundred kilometres from the capital New Delhi. Snake charming's a way of life. Once they capture the creature and remove its teeth and venom, it becomes one of the family, sleeping under the same roof and even drinking the same milk as the children. The cobra's lightning-fast strikes are no longer to be feared.
It's not a snake. For us, it's the god Shiva.
Local beliefs hold that the cobras even have medical abilities. This hard paste is made from its venom. The tribespeople rub their eyes with it twice a week and are proud they have no problems with their sight.
If there's dust in our eyes, this gets it out, and we can see better. Even if you have problems with your eyesight, they'll get better.
Entire lives are built around the snake's existence. After school, the children all go to extra cobra classes. They learn how to tame them, to handle them better later on. However, their teacher worries about a vanishing heritage.
Out of 100 kids, maybe only one will become a snake charmer. They're becoming fewer and fewer. People are doing other things. They're studying. There are fewer and fewer people with the knowledge who can do this work.
Others, though, see it as animal cruelty. One association has set out to help the wild snakes, taking in around 350 every year. Sometimes they arrive in a pitiful state.
This is partially broken. What they will do, they put some burning rod type of things inside to damage the venom gland and breaking the fangs, that got enormous damage to the mouth.
Karam was unable to ignore the creature's suffering. Once a snake charmer himself, he now works to help the serpents as best he can.
I decided to take care of the snakes because the charmers don't look after them well. I had the chance to do noble work here. Now I feel much better.
It may well be the case that the practice of keeping cobras in Indian homes may soon disappear. However, their enduring symbolic legacy and those who admire them seem likely to endure much longer.
We'll leave you now with images out of Taiwan and the latest trend in the country's pet care industry. Four-legged friends are getting massages and acupuncture treatments to help relieve aches and pains. That's it from us here at Access Asia. We'll see you again next time. Thanks for joining us.